going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Wednesday, May 10th, and we're one sleep away from the NFL schedule being released. And today I want to talk about the impact and influence of offensive coordinator and assistant head coach Eric Bieniemy, and what that means for Washington's offense this year. He never really understood. It was kind of like an unspoken agreement between Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy that the world is not allowed to be entailed of what was his exact assignments and responsibilities were for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Well, we know here he has full autonomy. That's his baby. The offense is his child here. He runs everything from personnel, staff, scheme. It is all Eric Bieniemy's here. So he's going to really have the chance to leave the nest and show the whole league, I do this shit. Like, I do this shit for real. This is not just Andy Reid. I do this. And Ron has seemed to give Eric Bieniemy a whole lot of responsibility. He got all the clout he needs here. I was just listening to the John Keim podcast, and he said Washington is going to be practicing at different times for training camp this summer. The typical routine of a Washington training camp practice is they would have meetings and film at nighttime, and they'd get out in the morning for their morning practice to go over what they did in film at nighttime. This year, they're going straight from meetings to the field. Reason why? He has a young quarterback in Sam Howell, and EB's thought process is that the learning curve is better for a young quarterback when he can immediately go out on the field and put a physical representation of what he just studied on display as soon as he leaves the meeting. So they're going from meetings to practice. So we don't know what time those practices are yet, but that's a big change. And that's a huge change coming from an offensive coordinator. And it seems to be he's flexing some of that assistant head coach clout. You know, some people just thought it was a title. I remember I told you when we hired EB that I thought he was going to get the associate or assistant head coach title. He's using it now. So instead of meetings at night, practice in the morning, they're both happening. They're going to leave the meeting room and go straight to practice and get right to it. And that should be huge for the growth of a guy like Sam Howell. And Keim talked about their belief in Sam. And just look at the pictures. Look at the pictures of the workouts, the on-field workouts, everything. You can see how fiery and intense Eric Bieniemy. Just look at the way he's looking at Antonio Gibson right here. This guy loves and means football. He breathes it. He sleeps it. He wakes up happy to coach it. I love that. And it's the total antithesis of what Norv's son Scotty was as our offensive coordinator, who is this mellow, snarky, nonchalant, yeah, guys, I'm just here to coach offense type of guy. And I don't really adjust on the fly or anything. I just call my scheme, and I'm just going to stick to my scheme no matter if it's not working. Yeah, we're not done. We're not doing that shit anymore. Eric Bieniemy is a whole different animal. We don't know exactly what the offense looks like, but the principles of it, we expect it to be some form of West Coast offense, because that's the tree he comes from, which is a lot of quick passing, get the ball out the quarterback's hand, matriculate the ball up the field, and eventually open up the deep pass to stretch the field vertically type of idea going on here. But EB seems to have a lot of power. He hired some of the new staff members, like Tavita Pritchard, the new quarterbacks coach. We let go of John Matsko and promoted Travell Wharton. We brought in Bobby Ingram as the wide receivers coach. It's been a shakeup this offseason, and the shakeup is quite to the contrary of Ron has done since he's been the coach so far. Ron is loyal to a fault to his guys. So him shaking it up is one last-ditch effort to get shit shaken here in 2023 for the Washington Commanders. But other than the quarterback, the biggest storyline of this team, it ain't the quarterback or the edge rushers. It's this guy, Eric Bieniemy. How good is he not in Kansas City? Not with the greatest quarterback we've ever seen talent-wise, not with one of the greatest coaches and offensive minds in the league. What will he be here where he is the clay? He gets to mold and form his own offense from scratch with weapons for days, what we think is an upgraded offensive line, and what we think is a clear upgrade at the quarterback position. Will his offense be translatable to a young guy like Sam Howell? I know it didn't work out when he went back to Colorado to call plays and stuff. Some people say the offense was not translatable. It was not digestible. It was too complicated in ways. And I'm sure he's learned from that. He's been in the building of a dynasty in the making. Probably should already call him a dynasty for like the last 10 years. So I think he's learned from that. And I think his biggest impact, other than the quarterbacks, is on guys that he's coaching in the running back room. This was a great running back in college. This dude almost won the Heisman Trophy and almost ran Colorado to a national championship on his own back. So guys like Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Jonathan Williams, Jared Patterson, they have to take the tutelage of that, and they have to take tough coaching. None of that fickle, thin-skinned shit over here, because EB are getting your ass. No pause intended. He will get in your ass. He was talking to Adrian Peterson like he was a dude off the street, because that's what hard coaching does. Maurice Jones-Drew speaks to it as well. He is a detailed guy, and he's detail-oriented. He needs people to be on the same page, speaking the same language as him for the offense to work out. And we needed a change here on the offensive side of the ball. The defense had a slow start to the season, but once they got underway, they were one of the top units in the league, but were constantly being held back because of the ineptitude of the play calling, the quarterback play, and the offense in general, offensive line, all that good shit. But it all started with the scheme. The scheme was bad, man. Like, I posted a picture to my Twitter yesterday of the play Carson threw an interception versus Tennessee, and it's like the worst route concept ever. They looked like there was never a chance for anything to happen, and we're talking 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line to win the football game. Don't want to see too much more of that happening under Eric Bieniemy, but I'm very interested to see how different things are. He's changing practice times. He's hiring staff. And when they're showing these workouts, these on-field workouts in the gym, all that shit, you see a bunch of pictures of Eric Bieniemy being hands-on, being intense, and being up in the faces of all the superstars in Washington. And I love to see that shit. It is your world in 2023, Eric Bieniemy, because just like Ron Rivera, you're currently coaching for your football soul. 18 interviews to be a head coach, no jobs offered, and it was time to finally step outside the nest and show folks I do this shit for real. So it's a prove it season for him. It's a prove it season for Ron. It's a prove it season for Hal. It's a prove it season for Sweat and Chase Young. It's a prove it season for this organization. 7 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. It is now year 4 of a regime. Year 4. The roster's built. We've been in position to make the playoffs for a couple years now, failed down the stretch. It's put up or shut up time, and Eric Bieniemy will have his fingerprints all over whether Washington is successful in 2023, because we know Del Rio and the defense going to be right. What we doing in 2023, EB? Let me know what y'all predictions are for EB's influence and success in Washington. And dude, if EB goes off, if EB gets this offense rolling, he will be getting head coaching interviews in 2024, and he will be getting a job in 2024, especially if he got Howell looking good. And I think there will be a vacancy here at head coach after the season. So who knows how this goes? I'm not sure it's a coach in waiting type situation, but we shall see. Eric Bieniemy, full autonomy, full influence over the Washington Commanders offense, even changing the time and structure of how practices will be going in training camp this year. Now going from the meeting room straight to the practice field. That's all I got for right now. Like, comment, subscribe. We're 120 away from 7,000 subscribers. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Deuces.